Empower, support, love. That's true beauty.
Allowing God to use me to inspire others.
She is clothed with strength and dignity.
Welcome to Sister Sis.
Hey, y'all. Did y'all miss us? Because we sure missed you. Look, watch, like, and subscribe to our channel at Sister Sis 1988, as well as follow us on all our social media platforms at Sister Sis 1988.
And
I was committed.
no, I'm not saying that. I'm just.
But I understand what you're saying.
You know, he's
yeah.
saying like you go
It
play
could be.
basketball, you
It
play,
could be.
you know, then you're gonna go
Because you get somebody else listening to you,
right,
and then
Yeah.
you're able to feel
So if
comfortable.
I come to
Yeah.
you as my man and I
Right.
say, I know, babe, because because I can tell you this, okay? But I've gotten, like, especially when I was younger, but I have always came back. I go and I think about it. Because I have a traditional mind too, like, dang, I told him down,
Tone down.
right? So
Mhm.
I come back and I say, look, I know this is what I said, you know, tell me how you was feeling or whatever, whatever it is. And I ain't got nothing to say.
Because
know
we don't
that-
want to be tore down again. Yeah. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
No,
We don't
what I'm
tell them
doing,
again.
that's what I'm saying. You're not going to get tore down again because I'm coming and saying, I know I was wrong. So you have the freedom now to say what it is.
And we
you need to
appreciate
say.
that. But once again, you guys listen to every word, every sentence. You know what I mean? So
That's
the way
true.
that we don't reciprocate that or bring that back to you to say, listen, when you're speaking, and it's just multiple conversations of having in the comfort of your conversation with your
Right.
significant other. If you're not having multiple conversations, then it's really gonna cause that void that you're missing.
Right. And I just want to be like coming forward if a relationship comes. And I think all three of us, this right here, we're trying to have that door where I don't want you to feel trapped. That's basically, I think that's where we're trying to go. Like Kalendra was saying, I'm trying to dig out of you what's up because I know
Information.
something wrong because you might not be saying anything, but your actions say a lot.
Yeah.
Every day you get out of work, you ain't coming. Usually you make it home by 5:30. Now you ain't coming to 7:38. What you doing? Things like that. I'm trying to get us from that bigger problem.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
A lot of times we trying to avoid a whole nother argument or something
Okay.
like that. Because if I
Okay.
say this, you trying to pull something out of me. Well, if I say this, it might make you mad.
Yeah.
And if you get mad, we're arguing again.
Correct.
So us being quiet is sometimes just being like, and if I
Well,
say,
look, I'm sorry.
yeah,
I'm sorry because I don't want that. You see them? Do you
Yeah.
understand what I'm saying?
Yeah, although you don't want it, you don't want it on your side. We don't want it on ours. You know what I mean?
Right.
So
But I think from a woman's standpoint, y'all can correct me if I'm wrong. To me, I think just hearing even if you don't have anything to say, baby, I hear you, I got you, I understand, just like that.
and that's what we do.
But a lot of the time, we don't even hear that.
No,
just
you
totally
don't.
Shut down.
It's just
Yeah.
a total shutdown.
Because I know I get they'll say what they have to say, then they done.
Yeah,
It's
they
like
shut down.
conversation over. I ain't talking about it no
Right,
more.
right.
I'm moving on. That was yesterday.
Yeah.
And I'm like, but since you done talking about it, I mean, I gotta be done talking about it. But that's really kind of how it goes. Like, I'm done.
Now, I've been in situations where I was very verbal, because my parents, they talked everything out. And I've been with some of my ex-wife. It's like, you talk too much. Like, we talking about everything. But I'm trying to verbalize to you the way you made me feel or in that situation. And so after that situation, I was just like, well, maybe I shouldn't be talking too much. Because I like to talk things out to see exactly where you're at and where I'm at so we can kind of meet in the middle. It's better talking instead of just leaving everything in the fog. That's what I thought.
Yeah.
So it was just
I
kind of
agree.
like, but men go through those situations. Like I went through that situation at one time. So the second time I was like, I didn't want to talk about a lot of things because when I did, it made it seem like I was being too talkative and maybe being too sensitive but of certain things. So I was just like, you know what? I'm a hold back, just do what I need to do, and that's it. So that's a lot of times, a lot of guys, they get hurt, and then once they get that hurt or something happens to them, they revert back to other ways to try not to get hurt again or bring a situation bad to them, Yeah.
Okay.
We got it. We got it. I don't want nobody sitting in the car for 30 minutes though.
I ain't did
I
that.
know, but I have heard a lot of men say that. They pull up in the drive and be in the car for an hour before they go inside.
Or
the
they
house.
stay at work.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
I heard it a lot.
I don't
Yeah.
want that. I would feel like
But
crap.
hey, you gotta have your outlet.
That would make me really feel bad.
But what do you guys feel about the traditional mindset that men and boys are not supposed to cry? Y'all supposed to be hard. How do y'all feel about that?
Man, I think we all went through that. You know what I'm saying? Like
We did.
We dudes, like, and as you get older, I think I'm the oldest.
Yeah.
PJ is the youngest, and like now, at some point, I just did not. I don't care. Like I don't care what nobody think.
Okay,
Yeah.
I don't care what nobody say. I don't care if I need to cry.
Yep.
Like I'm gonna do what I want to. But I did go through that stage where I ain't gonna cry. Nothing's gonna make me cry. I'm a man. I'm tough. All this kind of stuff. And it was pretty much me trying to psych myself out.
Yeah.
Because once you realize, man, I do got feelings, and my feelings get hurt. I'm happy sometimes. I'm sad sometimes. But a lot of times we mask it. But as you keep going along,
In life and get wisdom.
So what
yeah.
transition that made you kind of like, you know what? I'm gonna cry if that's how I feel. I'm gonna
It's
cry.
a few things I had when I started having kids. When I had my first kid, like everything changed. Everything changed. Like, I looked at everything differently. And just being close with the Lord, like it's okay. Like when you understand stuff is okay. A friend of mine told me real peace and freedom is not caring what other people think about you.
Exactly.
When you get there, nothing matters. Like you don't care. So I remember coming up, we used to care what we wore, how my hair. I got 17-year-old. He got dreads. If his dreads ain't this and he ain't got a fade, then he won't even go out. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, and now I'm 40. I'm in my 40s. I'm like, don't nobody care. You know what I'm saying? Like, who cares?
She used to be there too.
Right.
Yeah.
Exactly. I was there, so I get it.
You have to grow to get to that stage.
Crying, I don't care if something hurt me. I ain't like, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You got one boy, two boys?
I got two boys and a girl.
Okay.
Two boys. Okay, so with your two boys, do you talk to them and tell them about the emotion?
So our conversation, I'm not gonna say it's different, but it's almost like my boys are reliving my life. Everything I used to go through, everything I think, the stuff, the mannerisms, everything. It's almost like a cheat code to know how to talk to my kids. It's like I'm talking to myself again.
Yeah.
So we talk about all kind of stuff, like the 22-year-old, the 17-year-old. Like we talk, and their answers are the way I felt. You know what I'm saying? It's like me talking to myself again. And so yeah, we chop it up quite a bit. And coming up, my pops wasn't around. Like I said, I had a single mother with 4 kids. So so I take on my kids a different way.
Okay.
Because mine wasn't around. So I'm always around. Like we talking, texting. I'm at all the games, all of that stuff that I wanted when I was coming up. Because if I don't show up to a game, I know how they feel. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So I come at them a completely different way. Yeah.
Okay.
PJ.
I don't have any problems crying. It's kind of like what Nora said. When you're younger, it's about the people that's around you. Oh man, you weak, you sensitive, you this and that. And then some things in the relationship as well. Why are you crying? Why are you this? I'm in pain. I'm in pain. I'm hurt. Some of the things that you said, the verbiage that you use, and everything so that I might not do it right there in front of you, but you might see me in a room by myself or something like that, and I might, I'm not gonna be boohoo crying. I need a box of tissue or something like that. but it's still pain, And what the opposite sex don't really understand and get is that we go through the same or somewhat of the same pain that females go through as far as emotions, and regardless if you don't have to hit us with a knife or stab us in the back with a knife or anything, but it hurts just as much, And sometimes instead of some guys have anger issues, some guys have other stuff or whatever. So then you got guys that just boohoo cry or just drop a couple of tears or something like that in private, So I don't think it's demasculating to.
I don't either
for
at all.
But you do have some women out there that's like, what the hell are you crying for, man? You look,
I
you look
understand,
cold
but
and
yeah,
everything.
no,
Yeah.
I've never been that way. Like you can't cry, no, I haven't been like that because at a young age, I know if I tell him he can't cry, then whatever emotion he's feeling. Because one of my exes, he didn't have a relationship with his dad, but still at the same time when that man passed away,
Oh yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah.
you know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
And so I never gave him that.
Yeah.
You didn't even know, you didn't even talk to him.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
let him
Yeah.
carry that out.
Right.
That could have been a hurt that he needed.
Oh, I knew that was
closure
something
and
he was
everything.
over
Right.
because
Yeah.
we had been together for years, and I knew that was something that he was holding. But when
Correct.
the man passed, and it was a sudden pass,
Yeah.
I really seen that, and that was really like maybe my second time seeing him cry, but seeing him cry with a real reason,
Correct.
like a real
Mhm.
pain that maybe
Correct.
had been holding
Yeah.
that. But you're right, some women do feel like you can't cry, but I know I'm a crybaby. You see what I'm saying? And so, I find that's a lot of love to me if I can cry and let my emotions out and tell you how I'm feeling. And then you might decide there's something you want to tell me.
Yeah.
Because I have
Mhm.
experienced that before. If I'm going through something and I decide maybe something that I haven't talked about, that moment might be something I tell you, a secret or something. You might want to do the same thing, and you'd be surprised the connection you and that person will have because now you're comfortable
Correct.
when you're down.
And that's
Right.
the biggest.
Yeah, and that box is open,
Correct.
and you don't feel like you have to hide anymore.
Correct. And that's the biggest thing as far as the comfort of being able to share that
Or
emotion
safe.
with you.
That's a better
Yeah.
word.
Safe space, right?
Mhm.
Just hey, I know I can be vulnerable, I can be hard, I can be tough, I can be
Yeah, you
protective
can do
and
all
everything.
that.
So that right. And as long as I know I can have that with that significant other or what have you, then that's what makes the relationship last longer.
Correct.
It
You know?
is.
It's like not just being okay. Well, you need to be the provider.
Right.
Well, what about all this other stuff? You know what I mean?
Right.
Yeah,
Mhm.
yeah.
You're still human.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah,
what
Yeah.
I go back to.
yeah. Okay. See, Larry didn't chime in.
I'll
Last thing
chime
ain't
in.
nobody that said.
No, I was letting
forgot.
everybody talk. Just let everybody talk. But yeah, in the area where I grew up, we had to kind of be hard a little bit
Okay.
to kind of make it. But because of, and Norris know what I've been through. But after I went through, I had 2 kids. So I have 1 now. But after I had that loss of that first kid, now I will get emotional. Now I will, it broke down something inside of me. And so I was like, man, now it feels good to kind of let that out. But for a long time until that period happened, then it opened up another side of me. So now, I
It ain't
cry.
nothing.
Yeah, I
That's
cry.
it.
Yeah, I cry. I sure will. We could watch a movie and I cry.
And that's cool.
Look it up.
Yeah,
Some of these movies are different.
ain't nobody business he was crying. Who business is
Hey,
that?
what's wrong? Nothing, girl. Sure. Something be falling from the sky.
Hey, it's something in my eye.
I love it. I love it. I love it. Okay. So how do you guys feel about gender specific toys? Like, would you allow your sons to play with dolls? Would you be okay with that?
Yeah. PJ got what? 5-year-old and a 10-year-old.
I
Like
got
mine
six-
is
6 and 11,
17
yeah.
and 22. So,
Yeah, mine's 19 now, so.
but no, coming up, it was like, nah, put that Barbie doll down.
Yeah,
You know what I'm
yeah.
saying? Like,
Yeah.
I
was like-
I don't want you to feel too comfortable doing that, And,
Yeah.
and that it is. My son, my 6-year-old, he has 2. Well, he has multiple cousins, but he has 2 female cousins that's close to his age. And they literally, he goes by his grandmother, like we call Yaya. So she goes by his Yaya house and everything. So that, hey, they playing with all this other stuff. I'm like, hey, come here, son.
How to break it down too.
And it's like you don't want to be harsh and everything to that, but at the same time, hey man, I need to understand why. You know what I'm saying? Like, so it's like, what you doing playing with that Barbie? Well, I gotta play with this because my cousin want me to do this, right? All right, but you do understand that this is not, we don't do this. You know what I mean? You playing with this, but what else? And it's kind of like you just want to be very sensitive because he don't understand too much. But I don't want him to get so comfortable to the point where it's like, okay, well, you playing with baby dolls and dressing them up and everything. Well, I hope he's not dressing them up. Okay. But he's not, to the point where he's doing that or whatever. And listen, everybody could be who they want to be. You know what I mean?
Right.
And I'm gonna be very sensitive about, how I feel about guys transitioning and, and say everything. But, I'm gonna let my son regardless. Right.
Correct.
However, it's still kind of, it worries me a little bit.
And I think that's natural.
Yeah.
And the reason I
It
think
is.
it's natural is because for the show, I researched some YouTube, and Dr. Phil actually had a show about gender roles. Now you got people who are in that frame transitioning or don't want to transition. They're not identifying as a man or a woman.
Right.
And they want different special pronouns used. They, them.
Right.
It was even a lady on the show who had a son, and when people know she has a baby, they knew she was pregnant, had a baby, and when they see her, okay, she's not pregnant anymore, they say, "Oh, did you have a boy or girl?" "Oh, they're in preschool."
Yeah.
Because she's not, even on his birth certificate, she did not assign him a sex, because she says that she wants him to grow up and decide what sex he wants to be. You see what I'm saying? So you're dealing with things like that. Gender is really a big role now in 2022.
Yeah.
But I think it is, I guess I'm not sure how I feel about it, but I think a 6-year-old,
Yes.
6-year-old, it needs to be told, where's your Tonka truck? Where's G.I. Joe's? And
And listen, we go to all the stores and get all of that. And hey, the same way you playing with that, look, tell your cousins or the girl cousins, they're gonna be playing with this and that. You know what I'm saying?
Right?
Pick up
Yeah,
their
everybody,
basketball,
let's
do
share
whatever.
all the
We gonna
toys.
share it all,
Yeah.
right? And I get it. It's so, hey, they by grandmother. They're gonna play with all the toys and everything. So that I can't monitor that all the time.
Right, correct.
You know what I mean? So I just instilled into my son, hey man, listen, this is what we do, this is this and that, whatever. If you ever got a problem, have that safe, comfortable space and everything to come talk to me or whatever.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So, hey dad, why I gotta, and he did, why I gotta play with this and everything? She's too bossy and this and that. No problem, son. You go over there and play with your toys and whatever else you got and by yourself, your trucks and everything else like that. And I don't think I have a problem with that. You know what I mean? As long as he don't play, for hours and hours and everything.
Yeah, I got it. I understand.
Right.
But I think that's a natural thing, but they're bringing it into schools.
Correct.
They're allowing schools to
That's
talk
my
to
problem.
children
Right.
about gender
That's
and
right.
telling them it's however you feel. And you know what I'm saying?
Right.
So that question goes to, really, you guys still kind of have that, no, he a boy. He ain't supposed to be
Right. Right.
Yeah.
And people are, damn, that's a problem.
If you look at the sponging age of the kids right now, they're retaining so much information, all kind of different ways, especially 6 to 10, 12 or whatever. So they're just sponges at that
Right,
particular
correct.
age.
Yeah.
So the moment that they click onto something, they're gonna retain it, they're gonna hold on to it, and then they're just gonna keep on traveling. And my son remembers everything. I mean, my son, we could be driving down. Hey, Dad, this ain't the way we go.
That's
The
This ain't
kids
way-
will tell it.
Yeah.
They gonna tell on
This
you.
ain't the way to go to QT, Dad. Hold on, man. Where we going? Right. To the other QTs.
Right.
So, and me picking that up, I know that if they're in the schools and everything, teaching that to, hey, you can be whatever you want to. Or that, God, I haven't had that conversation yet, or I haven't had that question brought to me yet. It's amazing how they can push certain things into the school systems, but they will exclude everything else that we
Right.
really and truly need. So
Yeah.
I'm gonna just leave that there.
No,
Yes.
it's because, like I say, the gender thing. I don't have children, and I just have a lot of god kids. But I just, I'm learning that they are deciding that they're going to be talking about that. And I really think that's a parent's responsibility.
Correct.
I
Yeah.
don't think,
Correct.
because the mom with the Dr. Phil, she feels like she's giving the baby a choice, but she's really not.
Right.
You programming him to think like
Programming,
you.
Mhm.
That's what you're doing.
Right.
So I just like, okay, gender. So now you're gonna have these babies going to school, and they're gonna come home and say, "Mama, today at school, or Daddy, today at school, we talked about whatever." And I think a parent's gonna be like, "What?"
Right.
They do, because that
Right,
happened to me
consultant.
with my little cousin. She's 11. And so I had a conversation with her that blew me away. She started talking about a transgender in her class,
Mhm.
and she's 11.
Mm-hmm.
Her dad didn't know anything about it. He was like, I didn't know,
Right.
but she felt comfortable with telling me about it.
Right.
But she said that it's okay. She was like, but I don't really think he's confused. I don't think he really knows.
Mm.
But this is conversation that 11-year-olds are having
Right.
at school. Like we didn't have that.
No, we
those
didn't have any.
That was
conversations at
inappropriate.
school.
That was
Yeah.
inappropriate.
You know,
You didn't
so
bring
yeah, it's
anything
a
like that
thing
up
that's
anyway.
weighing on kids at
Right.
such a young age,
Right.
trying to identify, you know, who they
Mhm.
are.
You got to be so sensitive about everything as well.
Mhm.
And I'm not saying that that's bothersome for me, but it's how can we be so sensitive about children that's not even they're not even able to, you know, go to the store and make their own purchases and everything else like that, but you're going to tell them to go ahead and choose their own, you know, way of they want to live their life and everything else like that.
Yeah, I
Mhm.
think it's
I'm not
been
going
a
to touch
lot.
on it, but I mean, it's-
Yeah, I
Yeah.
get it, but that's a big deal now.
It is.
Gender. They're talking about it in the schools now.
Mhm.
But we can't have this prayer in the school no
No.
more.
No, you can't have
Right.
any.
The
You
Black
gotta
national
take it out.
anthem
Right.
No.
in
You
the
gotta take all that out.
morning.
But yeah, we're going to push this.
We can't have Christmas parties. They call them holiday parties. All of that.
All that.
I don't think
Right.
it's a very
Right.
sensitive topic.
It is.
But I think that it's important as parents. I do have a son. They don't have any children, but I do have one son. But I think, and I try to have an open dialogue with
Right.
him about whatever, honestly. And
Yeah.
I let him know that it's okay to come to me about whatever. Because if I don't talk to him about it,
Mhm.
somebody else out there is going
Right.
to talk
Gonna
to
talk
him
to
about
him.
it. Like,
Yeah.
I know
Wrong
probably
way.
when all of
Yeah.
us were going to school, we didn't talk about those
We
certain
didn't.
things.
Right.
Mhm.
We didn't have to worry about like transgender. I didn't even honestly know what
Well,
that
no,
was.
no,
Back
that
in
was
school. I had
new,
no
yeah.
Not at
clue.
11,
Yeah.
They
no.
know, but if
Yeah.
I don't talk to him about it, somebody else is going
Somebody
to
else
up and
will.
talk about it. So the
Mhm.
way I see it is keep that open dialogue, and I better talk to him
Yep.
about it first
Yeah.
before
Mhm.
somebody else talks to him about it. So I
Agreed.
believe in keeping that open dialogue.
Agreed.
So true. So why do you think it's socially acceptable for females to be masculine than for a male to be feminine?
Mm.
Hmm. Okay.
Socially acceptable, right?
Mhm.
I like those terms.
I'm glad. You know, you got it read it correctly.
Mm.
It's a masculine woman. You know, women go around saying I'm a strong woman.
Right.
I'm strong, but
I'm
men
feminine.
don't go around talking about I'm a weak man.
Right.
And that's the kind of idea you get when you see a man acting as a feminine or something like that.
Right.
You see, and that's the only thing I can think of. It's not a conversation I have all the time talking about masculine women and feminine men, but it's not cool. As a man, you know, I don't want to be considered weak
Right.
or feminine and all of that kind of stuff. And I think when you think of homosexuals, I guess, or gay, it's more of a weak man. And women go around talking about I'm strong, so we can accept a strong woman, but socially it's tough to accept a weak man.
Mhm.
That's all I got. I can't.
I think it goes back to upbringing. Okay, you have Peter. You know, him and his grandmother. They was right about. She went to church. She did this, that.
Mhm.
That's the only person that he basically had
Okay.
as a guidance.
Mm-hmm.
As far as, you know, he walked like her, talked like her, and everything else like that, because they were glued to the hip, right?
Okay.
And then you have Mary or what have you, so that, and her mom passed at an early age, and all she knows is daddy, you know, or she knows daddy, uncle, and everyone else.
Okay.
So I think at a point, at just that small point, that has a lot to do with the upbringing
Okay.
and the people that they really and truly mirrored
Okay.
and really like considered someone that they wanted to imitate or just wanted to be like, almost to the point, right? So whatever grandmother did, you know, and I'm not saying that that's the true answer to the question, but that has a little bit to do with it. Had Peter had someone as a man, you know, in
Maybe
his life
so.
or whatever the case is,
Mm-hmm.
he can probably, you know, sway away from what grandmother did and everything else of that. And as Mary had someone as a female, she can probably, because, you know, once again, children were sponges at the age, and all they do is when it clicks, I mean, I have to be like this because I love this person. I imagine this person.
Got you.
You know what I mean? So, and that's the safe answer that I can give to that. And
Safe.
socially.
Appreciate you.
So,
I've never really thought about it. I guess like men supposed to be, you're supposed to be strong, and some women also like, I guess without some, like say for instance, they were raising a son or a kid, right? They don't have that man that was around. They were a single parent. So they had to be strong to try to lead the kids, provide for the house. I understand about all that. And I also had a few friends that didn't have a father, and they were gay. They came out to be more feminine because they didn't have anybody. They're not saying that that's what led them to be that way, but they had a lot of influence. They had a lot of mothers and grandmothers that was always there. And the man wasn't in the house a lot of times. And so not saying that that's the way that they wanted to go, but that's what all they got at that time. And I agree with PJ on that. And a lot of times they didn't have any male figure that was there through the whole time that they were growing up. So I don't know. I don't even know how to really answer it, but that's just how I don't know. I'm just kind of confused about it.
That's okay.
About that answer, yeah. I'm kind of confused about it.
So recently somebody said to me that a lot of men that they meet seem to be weaker, and the reason for that is because most men these days were raised by single mothers. Would you agree with that?
Correct.
In a way, yeah.
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 That's kind of
they pick up mannerisms and all of that kind of stuff. But at the same time, I was raised by a single mother.
Yeah.
But I kind of took after my older brother more
his brother,
than my mother. You know what I'm saying? So so they may pick up from.
You had a male.
I had an older brother
influence.
to kind of influence a lot of the stuff, the way I thought, the way I dressed. As a matter of fact, I think I copied everything that my older brother did.
Older brothers did, yeah.
So that was more so my influence. So.
Landra, you got something to say about that one?
Well, me being a single mom of a boy, he's 15 actually now, I think I'm pretty hard on him, and I think I find myself being really hard on him just because I am a single mother.
Right.
His dad is not very active in his life, so therefore I think I'm really pretty tough, on him. So I think I would have to disagree with that, just because you're raised by a single mother, that you're going to be more feminine or act more feminine because you're raised by a single mother. Because to me, I really think that I'm pretty hard on him. Even other people tell me, "Dang, you really hard on him, girl. You talk to him like that." I mean, because to me, the way that I see it, I have to be the mom, and I also have to be the dad, at the same time. So some things that some kids may get away with, I don't allow him to get away with those things like that. Like, we don't play that. No, you're supposed to do this X, Y, and Z. I'm trying to raise you to be a man.
Right.
I take that job very seriously. As a mom, I'm raising. God gave me this role as a mother, so this is exactly how it's supposed to be. So I'm gonna raise you to be a man. So to me, I think I beg to differ, on that, just because you're raised by a single mom,
think
that you're gonna be more feminine.
Right, and I think the argument is you're not a man.
No, that I'm not, of course.
So that argument comes about that feeling and that thinking when you meet a man that was raised with this single woman, and like you don't have social media, but on like Mother's Day, they be turning them single mamas up because not Mother's Day, Father's Day. When it's Father's Day, they tell people your mother is not your father. It's a belief that a woman, you can absolutely not teach a boy to be a man because you are not a man. You don't think like a man. You know what I'm saying? You don't deal with the things that men do. That I think is where the issue is. But what is her choice when that person, his father, is not in his life? She's got to do what she thinks is the best, even though she's not a man. You know what I'm saying? But I do think that is something when he grows up that's going to be said to him, as well as any other little boy that was raised with his mom by itself.
Right.
No, she's not a man. Your mama wasn't a man.
Well, I want to clarify. I didn't want to make it seem like it was just only single mothers. No, I'm saying in some cases where I saw some that didn't have a father figure or an older brother, like in Norris's case,
Right.
that they were leaned on by the grandmother, and then it just ended up where some of them, not in a lot of cases, but in just some of them, they turned out to be feminine when they grew older, and they did they especially in a lot of situations, they didn't know how to react in different situations when something was happening, and it was like more of a feminine way that they would react to as far as a man would react in that same situation. So it was like not everybody's like that, but just in the situations that I've seen, it was a couple of them that was just like that. It's just nobody was there to help out in that situation.
And it probably as my friend is saying,
Mm-hmm.
it's just her.
Yeah.
So what?
But I think it just depends on the principles that are being instilled.
Right.
Correct.
Correct.
Yeah,
Yep.
I think Perry mentioned that it depends on the upbringing. Just because I'm a woman and I'm
Correct.
raising this boy, it depends on the things and what I'm putting into it.
Right.
'Cause it could be a
Yeah.
whole nother
Yeah, that's
single
true.
mother
Exactly.
that she's, oh baby, it's okay.
Don't
play
do
with
it.
the
Don't
play
do
with
it.
the
Yeah.
play with the
Yeah.
play.
Yep.
There's
True.
nothing
Yep.
wrong with that.
It's the
That's what I was
construct.
gonna put
Yeah.
down.
So, I mean, yeah, which I'm not saying I see anything wrong with him playing with dolls, because I
Right.
don't. Because to me, I think that brings that sensitive side into a man as well, too, also being able to play with a doll and you
Right.
can also play with your trucks. I don't think anything is wrong with that. That's probably comes from me just being a female. But at the same time, I'm gonna be looking if he's only playing with the dolls. And I'm
Well, it's like Tammy said. That's it.
You
Yeah.
can also play with the trucks as well,
There
too. But to me, it goes back to your upbringing and what the
Yeah.
principles and the morals and things that are being taught and
Right.
things that are being instilled into you.
And the great thing is you being I commend you, you know, for continue to instill a lot of just and I'm not going to say masculine things, but the principles that you're
Right.
putting in them. You know, hey, you know, you're being mom and dad at the same time.
Right.
However, we're not going for this.
Right.
We're not going to settle for this.
Right.
And
Right.
Exactly.
And you're
Exactly.
driving him,
Right.
you know, for better and other things. So what you're doing is actually doing justice, as if what we would do,
Right.
but we'll just put a little toughness in it.
Yeah.
You know
Right.
what I'm
Right.
saying? And I'm not saying that you're being sensitive,
Right.
you know, but we put a little toughness in it. Hey, come here. Why, you know, this and that. Our base, you know, Norris and Larry can also say, hey, if we're downstairs, upstairs, wherever, and we're not in the same room with our kids, the moment that, hey, we yell their name and everything, and our tenderness comes out and everything.
Yeah,
so
that voice, a
they
man's
come.
voice, kids move quick
Right.
though when they hear
Yo.
them.
Yeah.
They move quick.
Mhm.
I actually love it because I feel like I'm a disciplinary or whatever, but I think when I see men that do that speak, you see a different move
Of course.
when versus the
That's
mama.
true.
And
Then I in my family I come from old school women. I mean, you know, you move. You know
better
what I'm
move.
saying? But it's still a different. No, hey, it's a
Mhm.
different tone when the
Yeah,
father
it's
speaks.
a difference. It really is. It's
You
kind of
move
like something
faster.
about when that man said it cuts you.
Yeah.
It cuts a little.
And I didn't
deeper.
want to, and you know, like
It does.
whoopings, as far as
It
whoopings,
does.
that bull of mine, my mother, I call her bullshit Tori. She did all the whooping. I think I can count on I think my dad made me whoop me 2 or 3 times.
He's not gonna whoop you. He's just gonna yell.
No, he whooped me. It just wasn't as much as the bull.
Exactly.
You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Because mom is gonna do that. But
Right,
Dad is
you know.
gonna, hey, he's gonna fuss a little bit, but he's also gonna be like, hey, this is the reason why or whatever. And it's not that masculine, don't play with me type thing. But it's like it's not that demand of respect, but it's like, hey, I gotta make sure that you're good. Our natural thing that we have to do is make sure that everybody in our family, everyone in our household is protected
Right.
Yep.
by any means. So that voice actually comes with that protection. Hey, don't do that. You know, nah, come over here. Why are you over there by the table and this and that? Well, it might seem like we fussing, but we just making sure that you don't bump your head. So we got to go spend about
Right.
4-5
Yeah,
hours.
that's true.
Right.
But it's a different because the mom or the woman may have just told him to move from the table,
Right.
right?
Yeah.
But when the daddy speaks, it's like it's a quickness.
totally
You know what I'm saying?
And like I said, commends to, you know, you being a
Right.
single mother and everything to that and doing what you're doing, because you have single mothers out there that's really, you know, hey, passive on trying to do whatever they don't worry about it. He's gonna figure it out. He's gonna
Yeah,
do
they
that.
brush
but-
it off.
Exactly.
I take that very seriously.
Correct.
Okay.
Well, do you believe there are certain gender roles that should be taught to little boys and little girls?
Like fix a tire, fix the engine, fix the carburetor.
Hey, listen.
I don't know. I don't know.
Nobody can get in there and handle that.
I'm just saying.
Pick up that carburetor real quick.
Carburetor.
Norris, get in there and get that carburetor.
I think nowadays age, we don't have that. I mean, even on the male or the female side, but they have some female mechanics. They have some male mechanics.
They-
and everything.
That's true. You do. Yeah.
Yep.
It stuns me tremendously at 2022, guys that's a little older than me. I'm 35.
Mhm.
Okay, guys that's 37, 38. You know, they still don't know how to change a tire.
Right.
What they do though is I'm gonna call it AAA. You know what I mean, and be able to do it. I really think that for male and females, you know, I grew up in a little country town and everything, so we did it all. It's no machines that I know I can't operate. There's no food or anything I can't fix.
Okay.
We did it all.
Right.
Okay.
Not everybody has that same upbringing.
Right.
All right. So, do I think in my opinion, do I think that females and males need to learn how to do certain things? I think a female can, be able to fix a tire. If not, she's going to be sitting on the side of the highway for hours. You're going to be late for work. You're going to be, late for school, whatever. So if you could hurry up and do 30 minutes of changing a quick tire or something like that, and then pick up the phone and say, hey, babe, I had to change my tire, but we got to get it fixed. You know what I mean?
Right.
That saves a lot of time or whatever. Or just pick up the phone, call AAA or anything else like that, because we have those services rendered to us now.
Right.
So just my take.
I taught my son, when my son was little, I taught him hey, you're going to have to learn how to change a tire. You're going to have to learn how to do, cut the grass. You're going to have to learn how to do certain things. And as he was growing up, you don't think they listening.
Yeah.
But when they get older, you see it.
Yeah.
Now my son's hey, Dad, I got a tire. He called me the other day. I said, what you doing? He said, man, I got out there and got it done. I said, that's what I'm talking about, man.
Right.
So it was just when you see stuff like that, things that you think the kids are not listening to, they do. They'll suck it all in. And even when I had my daughter, I still taught her, hey, you might be in a situation where no one can help you. So you need to kind of learn how to do these things on your own too, just in case. And don't let that woman, not supposed to do that type of thing. No, you go down here and do it just in case, You need to learn how to cook. You need to learn how to clean. You need how to do all these other different things. And if you don't want to, you just need to do things that you feel good about yourself and making sure that you're good. So I always taught my kids really good to have good energy, have good confidence in yourself, and that's the main thing. So
Okay.
that's
I
it.
dig it. That's good insulation.
I tried. Oh, well, my daughter's not here anymore, but my son is 19.
19. Okay.
Uh-huh.
Do you have a little girl, Perry?
2 boys.
Oh, you got two. Oh, so you ain't got to worry about it. Right?
Yeah.
Well,
No,
yeah.
did you teach your daughter?
So I got 2 boys and a girl, and my girl is 15.
Mm.
Okay.
So I hadn't taught her how to change a tire because now I'm teaching her how to
She
drive.
about to drive.
I think when I was speaking to you the other day, and I was in the car driving with her, and so if I sounded occupied because she was driving, and I'm like, oh, stay right here. No. So we learning how to drive now. But I kind of hone in on what they like. Like my daughter does her. She's 15-year-old. She make probably about $800 to $1,000 a month braiding her.
Okay.
So it just happened to be I didn't teach her that. She just picked it up. And you know what I'm saying? So my boys, even my daughter, I take them to work with me. My oldest son helped me do cameras.
Right.
My 17-year-old helped me do cameras, certain things. I take my daughter to mount TVs, certain things like that. So I just teach them what I know. Because a lot of stuff, like my daughter is pumping gas when we're going somewhere. Okay, take me to Home Depot, and on the way back, let's get some gas. You're going to have to learn how to do this because I'm not always going to be around.
Right.
So I teach certain stuff like that. I don't know if it's more so gender role type things.
Yeah.
I just teach them. Right. Just what I know, what you'll need to know. My daughter.
Just being a daddy.
Yeah.
Right.
Because I would say
Yeah.
for me, learning how to drive, my mom wasn't big on it,
Mhm.
but
Right.
that's a good memory to have. My daddy teaching me how to drive and
Right.
let me drive and things like that. So that's why I asked if y'all you don't want to have a daughter though. So I was just like, she'll remember that. That's something that you remember with your daddy.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Okay. Anything y'all want to add
Yeah.
before we close
Before
out?
we
No,
go,
this is good.
It was.
That was great.
Y'all gotta come back. Y'all gotta come back.
Well,
Until next time.
there's strength in sisterhood.
And supporting sisterhood.
Bye.